Right, you read the title, but before we get into that, Carlos Quadros, that's kind of fun to say. Quadros, okay, now under Abel Sanchez, that's right, you heard it, Sanchez, the new trainer of Mr. Carlos, so, that's kind of cool. You know, we got the Superfly 2 show coming up, and, that's gonna be in, Inglewood, the Superfly 2 show, Carlos Quadros. Carlos, he tried to hook up with Abel Sanchez before the Estradas fight, but due to some complications, okay, I think he couldn't leave Mexico or something like that. Something was going on with him in Mexico, so they tried to team up before, but now you got Gennady Golovkin, Carlos Quadros, in the same gym, Big Bear, training, so that's pretty cool. But now, moving on, I found this interesting, okay? Interesting, okay? I know you guys like to correct my grammar. Thank you, grammar police. But Abel Sanchez said he has not watched the Canelo Golovkin replay. It's like, well, what? He said, yeah, he's not, he said, why? What for? I have nothing to gain from watching it. When the time is right, me and Gennady Golovkin will sit down and we'll go from there, but right now, yeah, I haven't watched it. It's like, really? I don't know if I believe that, I don't know. I forget who it was, but he was asked, or I think before the original fight, they asked him if he'd actually studied film or Canelo on film, and he said, no, why would I, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I think Mr. Sanchez likes to, tell little fibs to keep everybody in the dark, okay, little white lies, all right? But he said, hey, once the fight is over, our job is done. We don't talk about it. We part ways until we meet again. So I have not discussed the original fight with Gennady Golovkin, nor have I watched it, watched the replay. So yeah, that's very interesting. I find that incredibly interesting, okay? Now, Canelo lied to us, okay? These are quotes, okay? I'm quoting this, okay? This is a recent interview from Sanchez, so the latest, the greatest, the recent, okay? Canelo lied to us about how he was going to fight the fight, okay? He said he did fight a great fight, but he lied, he said he was going to basically plant his foot in the middle of the ring and, Mexican style, right? Come forward, so, but look, I mean, truthfully, you want my honest opinion? I think both guys, I expected a little bit more from both guys, what I'm trying to say. So, I expected something different. They both, look, I thought each guy could do a little bit better than they did, okay? And, but moving forward, getting back to Sanchez, I think it was very passive aggressive, for Sanchez to say these kind of things, saying he's a runner and, he lied to us about how he was going to beat Canelo or Golovkin, you're not going to give away, you're not going to give away your game plan. Okay. And then he said, Canelo was fighting to not get knocked out. Okay. And again, these are all quotes. I'm not making this stuff up. He said he lied to us, and Canelo was fighting to not get knocked out, so, I was like, wow, that's, okay, kind of harsh, right? It seems like some turmoil there, like some hard feelings are going around, but look, here's the thing. I think Canelo needs to exchange with Triple G, okay? And look, maybe Canelo can land a big shot. Maybe he can hurt him. We'll have to see. But, both guys, they have a lot of adjustments that they need to make. So, but by the way, look, I don't like when people say it's boxing, anything can happen. I mean, I'm guilty of saying that too, but I don't know. I'm getting tired of hearing that. It's like everywhere I go, they're like, oh, it's boxing, anything can happen. It can, but at a professional elite level, it rarely happens. Anything rarely happens, so, but he kept talking about that in the video, how it's boxing, anything can happen. So, but, then he went on to say, well, look, and they asked him about, why Gennady Golovkin couldn't knock out Canelo. And he said, well, if he's going to run, and if he's going to make it a track meet, he's like, if he's going to run, how can we knock him out? How can you catch a guy that's running? He went on to say that, he look at the Hagler Sugar Ray Leonard fight, which, by the way, great fight. He's like, they actually exchanged, even though, Sugar Ray Leonard was a mover. He was a mover, but, you know, it was a good fight. So, and that's what he's trying to say. You know, there wasn't really any big moments of exchanging. It was just constant running and kind of just, you know, stick and move, that kind of thing. So, you know, and he's calling it a track meet, that kind of thing. So, you know, he's kind of going hard on him, but, you know, I don't know. To me, and we all know why. We know why. Canelo's got those stamina issues, just like Bernard Hopkins said. So, but we'll see if Canelo fixing it. But, you know, he said, and then he went on to say, you know, Canelo was on his bicycle, plain and simple. You know, he was on his bike. And and then the reporter went on to ask, you know, why, like I said, why didn't Gennady Golovkin cut off the ring, right? If he's running, he's on his bike. And he said, well, you can't hit what you can't catch. He's like, you know, if I'm running down the street, you can't catch me, you can't hit me. You know, he's like, just because we're running in circles, it's like the same thing. And it is to a degree, you know, to a degree. And then he said, well, look, you know, why couldn't Canelo knock out Lara, right? And actually, you know, ding, ding, like 1 point for Abel Sanchez, right? I mean, that's a hell of a comeback. You know, he's like, the dude's like, well, you know, why didn't he cut off the ring? If he's running, that's what you do fundamentally, you know, that you cut the ring off, in which I agree, you know, and he said, well, he did cut the ring off. You know, he's like, it's not that he didn't cut the ring off. He did cut the ring off, but, he's like, you know, then he would just move the other way or run the other, you know, so there is a point where if you're running to a certain degree, you can't catch them. You know, you can't set up, you know, you've got to place your shots right. You know, your feet's got to be in the right place, that kind of thing, you know, to set up your shots without getting hurt. And that's another thing he was talking about. He's like, well, you know, Gennady Golovkin is not just going to recklessly go after him, you know, throwing big windmill haymakers, you know, I mean, he needs to, you know, be able to protect himself and throw power shots, that kind of thing. So, but I thought it was a good comparison. You know, why couldn't Canelo knock out Lara? You know, or even hurt him, really, for that matter. You know, so it was, you know, interesting. But like I said, I felt there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of anger, even, you know, saying he cheated. I mean, these are kind of harsh accusations, you know, to throw at another boxer. You know, you cheated. You're a runner. You're on your bike. You know, and then even bringing up things to contradict what Canelo has said, you know, like, well, why didn't you do it to Lara? You're going to complain about it, you know, and remember in the press conference right after Canelo Lara, what did Canelo do? He just sat up there and complained the entire time. You know, that's all he did, just complained and complained about the running, you know, so, but, you know, that, you know, I'll probably leave it at that. I want to know what you guys think. I mean, I love reading the comments. I try to reply to as many as I can, but I literally get hundreds and hundreds of notifications every day. So I think I'm going to make a video just replying to all of your comments. So, you know, is he being too harsh? You know, is he, you know, maybe, like I said, there's just he's being passive aggressive. You know, he's upset about the draw, that kind of thing, because, you know, he truly believes that Gennady Golovkin won, and most people do. I mean, I know I get people on the channel that, you know, claim Canelo won, but I mean, look, even if I'm being biased for Canelo, I can't say he won, because he didn't. You know, even if I'm a Golovkin hater, like a lot of these channels out here are, I mean, they are hardcore Gennady Golovkin haters, and they won't even tell you that he lost, you know. I mean, I've heard a couple of them say, well, I'm good with a draw, you know, but most of them, no, Gennady Golovkin won. So anyway, guys, what do you think? Leave it below.